Hey, everybody. In case you're wondering, in this episode of the Squared Circle Time Machine, we recorded this episode 3 days before the passing of Hulk Hogan. So we reference him, obviously, in this episode, but we don't make mention of his passing. We'll talk about that in the next episode of the Squared Circle Time Machine. So, in case you're wondering if you think that we were ignoring it, no. We taped this on Monday, July 21st. So it was 3 days before Hulk Hogan's death. So we will talk about it again in the next episode. But until then, let's enjoy our latest episode of the Square Circle Time Machine from the July 25th, 2002 episode of SmackDown. Okay, folks. Me, Greg, and Dane are back here on the Square Circle Time Machine, and we are covering a very special episode of SmackDown from July of 2002.
2002. I think that was a carryover still from the Attitude Era with the repeaty promos. Because don't forget we had Capital Carnage in London Arena.
Oh,
Vinny Jones.
Vinny Jones, the famous show where Vinny told us it was going to be emotional. I think we got to do that pay-per-view sometime.
Yes, and a bask in the many surprisements that Gerald Briscoe promised us.
Oh, yes, the great surprise that Mr. McMahon has promised us. Oh, by the way, Dane, yesterday I got a Panini autograph card of Gerald Briscoe at a card show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take a snap of that and send it to you and maybe post it on the Facebook page for Squared Circle Time Machine. But yep, I saw it and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get this. And I also got an autograph card of Jimmy Garvin.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So I got Jimmy Jam and I got Jerry. I think I got them both for $5. So, all right. But let's get into it is a deal. Damn straight. Yeah. Okay. Now let's get into what we got to discuss. We are taping this the night after TNA Slammiversary 2025 at UBS Arena in Elmont, which is where the Islanders play. I did not go to the show, sadly, but it was a fun show.
It definitely looked like it was a fun show, and the crowd was definitely, like, I understood it was probably the biggest crowd they've had in a long time, or it's even set like a overall record as well.
They set the TNA attendance record. It was 7,800 people were at the show.
It looked like it was like, obviously they had the upper decks were closed off, but lower bowl and front seats, they looked sold out and they had fun. It was nice hearing 7,800 people sing AJ Styles' TNA theme again.
And it was nice to see him put over some of the new talent in TNA.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of talent, we got at least 2 title changes. Or three, because we had Leon Slater becoming the youngest X Division champion.
You know what's crazy, Dane? Leon Slater, 20 years old. He is younger than the lineage of the TNA title, the X Division title, I should say.
Yeah. He's even younger than the company itself, like by about 2 years.
No, TNA's 23 years old, so he is 3 years younger than TNA. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. And then the Hardys got back the tag team titles, and afterwards I have to watch that match now because I saw one still photo with Jeff Hardy hanging off like a rope ladder for some reason.
Oh yeah, because Jeff found I guess he asked someone from production for a button. He pressed the button and out popped I think they said on commentary it was like a Batman 66 style ladder on commentary, which makes me wish that somehow if somebody from TNA listened to this podcast network that they would make a reference to Fat Man 66, but no.
Hey, Jeff Hardy, I see you climbing that rope there, just need to ask, you got any Danishes? Make sure they, don't got any cheese, cause, you all know I got a problem with cheese, yeah.
I mean, you did like the old gag there with Matt and Jeff climbing up like the side of the building, and then we have like, I don't know, we could have like the concierge from the Elegance brand popping out the window talking to them and stuff.
Oh, that'd be. Oh.
And now we have JC Jane is 2-belt JC now. She beat Masha Slamovich for the TNA Knockouts title, so she's got both belts, the NXT
I guess,
and...
hold on. I guess we can now call her JC Hogan, too.
Well, yeah, I guess, because we got Becky Hogan's holding down people, and then we got Finn Hogan just holding just all the belts there in Judgment Day, and
we got Mercedes Hogan in AEW.
Yeah.
Nobody doing jobs anymore. They want all the belts. Everyone wants to be the belt collector.
Yep. Yeah, and the only two people who could pull off that gimmick was Ultimo Dragon and Dan the Beast Severn.
Oh, yeah. When Dan the Beast Severn had the NWA title and the UFC Super Fight title, he was the man.
Trick, I guess, he kept the belt, but feigned an injury and outsmarted everyone. But if it sounds like if we're getting a slightly extended stay of AJ Styles in TNA, do we get Trick versus AJ for the soul of TNA at Bound for Glory then, or?
Yeah, I think that's what it should lead up to. It would be like AJ playing the Taz role when he fought for ECW against Mike Awesome, who was leaving ECW to go to WCW. I think we're going to probably have something similar here, I think.
Yeah.
As long as AJ drops the belt to Mike Santana later, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. Although apparently, which is interesting, that WWE is apparently is interested in both Slamovich and Santana, so that could be interesting to see where those chips will lay down.
I could see Masha going to NXT eventually at some point down the line. But yeah, Bound for Glory, they announced it's going to be at the Tsongas Center in Lowell, Massachusetts, where the UMass Lowell basketball team plays. I believe that seats about 10,000 people.
Yeah. I looked it up. I think both Ring of Honor and NXT have held some events and TV tapings and PLEs there too, so it's quite another ambitious goal for TNA. But hey, if momentum keeps up and maybe knock on wood that they're going to get better media rights distribution in the United States at least.
Well, I got good news, Dane. At least here in my area in Long Island, Optimum TV finally is now carrying Access TV.
That's good.
Yeah, we never had it for like the longest time. Even when it was HDNet, when they had like cool shit back in the day. Like, we never got HDNet, which always pissed me off because I never got to watch like New Japan on HDNet.
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least I can finally watch TNA on regular TV, even though I could watch it through the TNA Plus app on my Fire TV. Okay, but enough about TNA 2025. We got to talk about WWE 2002. So we are reviewing the July 25th, 2002 episode of SmackDown on UPN.
And just 2 weeks removed from the introduction of the Ruthless Aggression era.
Ruthless Aggression.
Coming from both Vince's lips and also the lips of some new up-and-comer guy named John Cena I don't know if he ever... I don't remember if he ever did anything big.
Wait a second. Who are you talking about?
I don't know, some Invisible Man guy.
Oh no, he might not like that, Dean. He might not like that we referenced him as an Invisible Man. He might come and get us. So let's back it up like a couple weeks. So Vince decides after Big Sexy tears his quad, all right, we're going to have no more NWO power, no more NWO. I'm going to have general managers now. Yep, general managers. So he's going to have a general manager for Monday Night Raw, and he's going to have a general manager for SmackDown. So who does he get for the general manager of Monday Night Raw? Oh, my God. Dane, I was so shocked when this happened live. I didn't expect this was coming. But when I saw him show up, they're doing a backstage segment with Booker T. And then you see Eric Bischoff say, Booker, it's nice to see you again. My jaw hit the floor. Like, what?
And it's prime Eric Bischoff too. Like last time we saw him, he had silver hair and a bit of a goatee going on, and now he's back with jet black hair and the leather coat and smarmy smile and.
Oh yeah, Swarmy Eric is the best Eric.
Yeah.
And then for SmackDown, Vince makes a nepotism hire, obviously, and hires Stephanie to be the GM. So now we have a GM war between Eric and Stephanie, and they're just fighting for each other for talent and such.
Yeah.
So
because I think Vince also decided to make despite I think because they had the draft a couple months beforehand, all the contracts open and everyone can kind of bid for whoever.
Could you imagine if that happened like after the NFL draft, like in the middle of the season, Roger Goodell's like, you know what, all the players that get drafted, you can go to like any team you want now.
Well, go to any team you want now.
Yeah, like that would work. All right. So now we get into our opening. We get the whole thing with the, you remember this logo back. I think it's only been around a couple months since the name switched to WWE for 2 months. So you get all the shows like Confidential, Experience, Velocity, all that stuff showing up. And then, and Attitude Entertainment, WWE logo, which is just a freaking W. Like, it's that logo is like the scratch logo with W.
The scratch logo looks stupid with the like that,
You know what? Let's be thankful they changed it when the network launched, because that looks much better. Okay, so now we get the epic opening as Stephanie introduces us to SmackDown. So I don't know if I can play this on YouTube due to some copyright things with the song and everything, but
the opening song was Stephanie's theme from that time. I'm all grown up now. Listen to the bird.
I forget was that Mary J. Blige who sang it?
I think it was I think it was maybe Little Kim as well too, because I know Little Kim did I think some parts on like Trish Stratus's theme too, so
okay. All right, so now let's get Stephanie introducing us to this very special episode of SmackDown.
Very special.
Very special. Very special.
And we're not talking Gordon Jump guest starring as a child molester type of special.
Oh my God, Dane, why'd you have to bring that up?
That was actually in my Facebook memories today, was the Funny or Die very special episode summary.
About the bike shop episode.
The bicycle shop.
Oh,
episode
God.
of different show.
Why couldn't it have been the episode of Saved by the Bell with Rod Belding? All right, let's go to Stephanie.
I'm all grown up now. Tonight, a new era in WWE begins. I'm Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie. And as your general manager, welcome to my first edition of SmackDown. Tonight, a network television premiere. Edge will finally get his one-on-one match with Chris Jericho in a steel cage. Also tonight, the official debut of Rey Mysterio. Tonight, the new WWE champion, The Rock, the People's Champ, The Rock, will be competing for the Tag Team Championship against Lance Storm and Christian. And The Rock's partner, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And Bischoff, I hope you're watching, because tonight marks the SmackDown debut of the next big thing, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. Brock. Steel cage. Steel cage.
Steel cage. Lance Storm and Christian.
I hope you're watching, Eric Bischoff.
Now, let me quote Scott here from the original review he did of this episode. I pity the people at home on acid trips who had to see that and thought they had bought some bad shit. Also, Scott says in the re-review he did, surprised she didn't also announce the show was being rebranded to Bleep while she was at it. You can tell he wrote this review in late 2022, by the way, the re-review.
Okay.
Oh, Mike. What do we have to say about that? Oh, my God.
No.
Clearly, somebody was on ecstasy, and it was probably Kevin Dunn when he edited that.
Yeah. Distracted by something else, some other shiny object, and just went. And the production assistant's like, how much repeating stuff should we do here, Mr. Dunn? Like, yes. That's just me trying to do I can't quite do the Jim Cornette impersonation of Kevin Dunn there with.
Oh, the Bucky Bucktooth.
Bucky Beaver looking.
Okay, so we are from the Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, which is now the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, where the Indiana Pacers play. So Michael Collins has welcomed us to SmackDown, and we're into our first match. It's our Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, against Mark Henry. So, Dane, it's the battle of the 1996 Olympians here to start us off on SmackDown.
Oh, yes. The gold medal winner versus the 20th place person.
Yeah, sure.
And Mark Henry's got some kind of funky rap theme yet, because he hasn't quite discovered. This is still kind of like the transition of he got sent down to OVW to lose weight and learn how to wrestle, and he came back and looking like in phenomenal shape, and then he decided to go do some of the strongman stuff, so he had to bulk up again. So we're not quite near Hall of Pain Mark Henry yet.
Oh, yeah, because that was the best Mark Henry, the Hall of Pain.
Yeah. And Angle is nicely shaven here, too, so not quite getting into peak Angle look yet.
So let's get into the review of this match from Scott from the 2022 re-review we did. Henry powers Kurt down to start, but Kurt takes him down and goes for a face-off. Henry powers out of that, being the world's strongest man and whatnot, and then hits him with a press slam, but a blind charge misses and Angle hits him with a back suplex for two. Henry power slams him and hits his corner splash on the second try. However, but before he can finish, Brock Lesnar runs in for the DQ at 3 minutes and hits Henry with an F5 at a crazy move. They were having a pretty fun match before the fuck finished 2 stars.
It was actually a pretty decent. So it was a good TV match going on, and then Brock runs in to establish that he's the next big thing. He's the 2002 King of the Ring, and he's got himself a world undisputed title match at SummerSlam coming up soon, and Paul Heyman's out there with his greasy skull cat and long ponytail and giddy as all hell.
So let's go backstage to Kurt, Brock, and Paul here.
What the hell are you doing? What the hell was that? Hey, I'll tell you what that was. Paul, I'll handle this. Kurt, relax. You look like you were in trouble, so I figured I'd help you out. Whoa, help me out? You help me out? Who the hell do you think you are? I'm the guy that's going to SummerSlam to face The Rock for the WWE title. You see, Kurt, I was hoping I'd be able to face you, but you blew it. Maybe the pressure of always being number one is getting to you, Kurt. Well, not anymore. Now I'm here. And you, on SmackDown, being the number one guy, it's over.
Looked like Angle was gonna explode.
That was great.
Look at Brock's face here at
Yes.
8:37 more.
He's about ready to look like he's about to make stool in his pants.
Oh, meanwhile, we have a segment. Stacy is in Stephanie's office.
Ooh.
So apparently, I guess Vince fired her. I guess she was doing some work for Vince over on Raw, I guess.
Yeah. Or didn't I think wasn't this around the same time when, or was that later on? Because I think we got Stacy bringing back the Miss Hancock look for Vince one night on.
Oh yes, because this was the origin of the famous GIF where Vince is like, oh, and it's like dead.
Yes, but I guess apparently we find out that Stacy's services may or may not be needed because Vince might be getting serviced by someone else now. And yeah, 23 years later, that's...
Oh, yeah, that does not age well at all.
No.
But Stephanie gets flowers from somebody. Well, who's she getting flowers to from, Dane?
Well, I don't know. Stacy reads the card, and it's like, good luck on the show tonight, but SmackDown's loss will be Raw's gain. Signed, Eric.
Oh, yeah, that's Eric is, she's fucking with Stephanie, and
playing
she's
mind games.
Mind games, and she's so pissed. She throws the roses up against the wall.
At least no one was in the way of that, unlike when British Bulldog threw the garbage bin at her at Rebellion when he didn't get his title shot.
Oh, yeah. All this is because freaking Davey Boy Vince couldn't give him his title shot. Where's my title shot?
Where's my title shot? You had one already.
I want a title shot, Vince.
Title shot, no, Vince.
All right, but now we get into a big match here. We have Reverend Devon with some big guy that is his assistant. He's called Deacon Batista.
Deacon Batista. Sadly, he's not wearing his usual Deacon wear today. He's got his wrestling trunks on. So I thought, like, are we actually going to see him wrestle tonight? But no, it's Devon against the big Val Bolsky for some reason.
Why was Val Venus going by the big Val Bolsky?
I don't remember, but keep in mind, I think in a few weeks later, he becomes Chief Morley on Raw. Like, he becomes Eric Bischoff's second assistant.
Yeah, or as Scott famously called him, Queef Morley.
Oh, jeez.
I want to show this sign that some fan made at 11:14. Look at this sign this fan brought up Batista.
Well, you know what? Fair play to them. I mean, that's fair likeness to bald Batista. I mean, yeah, I think even here too, like Batista was also starting to grow his hair out now too. So,
also, I think this fan right below the guy holding the sign, I think he's doing a thing like he's trying to. It's like he's picking his nose or something.
Yeah.
Val's coming out with Hardcore Holly.
Yeah, apparently they're a tag team of some sort.
I don't remember this as a tag team. This must have been some shit that they would have on Velocity.
Yeah, this is like Velocity Sunday Night Heat level booking.
But look at this, Dean. Bob is wearing "Put a Little Smackdown on It" t-shirt that Tony Schimmel was famously plugging when he got hit in the effing balls.
Oh, yes.
If you have not seen it on YouTube, there's like a clip from, I guess, the live satellite feed from the SmackDown of Tony Schimmel.
Mhm.
Like he's plugging the t-shirt from the merch stand about "Put a Little
Yeah.
Smackdown on It." And there's also this guy who's firing the t-shirts into the crowd, and
Mhm.
he's got like this t-shirt gun, and for some reason he points it right at Tony Schimmel's balls. And it's like man getting hit by football.
Like, ah.
And Tony Schimmel's like so pissed, he's like, "That's effing bullshit, getting hit in the effing balls."
Knowing the level of maturity and kind of it was probably like some rib, maybe from Kevin Dunn and Vince in production.
Possibly.
Yeah.
So let's go to Scott for this match between Reverend Devon and Val. Val slugs away to start and gets a quarter clothesline. Elbow and slam sets up a knee drop for 2. Big boot and both guys tumble over the top. Back in, Devon attacks as Val rolls in and follows with the elbow. Next snap gets 2. He goes up and misses an elbow. And Val makes the comeback with clotheslines. Backdrop and Siemens suplex gets 2. But Batista saves. A brawl with Holly erupts. And Val gets the Blue Thunder Bomb for the pin at 3:07. Total filler. I think he gave this a quarter of a star. Batista lays out Val and Hardcore afterwards. They need to get Batista far away from Devon, Scott says. And sure enough, that's what they do with Dave.
Yep.
And thank goodness. Even though, let's be quite honest, Reverend Devon was awesome.
Yeah, he was. There was both, actually, you know what? I enjoyed both kind of the single runs for the Dudleys at the time, because I remember when they had the draft there was the big divide there. They had the big emotional hug goodbye, and so we had Bubba Ray becoming kind of like almost modern day Dusty Rhodes, it seemed like, until he gave Triple H a concussion, and that was like, well, that's it for you, pal. Mid card for you for life.
Until TNA.
Yeah. And then Reverend Devon, of course, we had. I mean, it ended up being a vehicle almost more so to introduce us to Batista, but I mean, what else were they going to actually bring him in as with his OVW gimmick as Leviathan, the Demon of the Deep?
No. But you know what? The greatest thing from Reverend Devon we got was the classic masturbation promo.
Yes. You are all sick people for doing this bad habit. And of all the people to come out and defend this is good old Ron Simmons. And I think at that time they added the damn to his, because I guess he got the APA theme once Bradshaw became Rich Cowboy Man. So he got that in the split up with the Acolyte, the APA. And then Simmons comes out and you're like, you know what? I love masturbation. And then beats up Devon just to add more to it.
Although, don't Devon and Simmons become a tag team when they have the tag title tournament later on?
I would have to look back and see that.
Yeah, because remember, I think now it's confusing because the tag titles are on SmackDown now with Lance and Christian, but they move on to Raw later on. And so SmackDown has no tag belts, so Stephanie's got to make a new set of tag belts so SmackDown can have tag belts.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's go after this right now. We got some backstage segments. Stephanie is sending security for Edge. Meanwhile, Lance Storm and Christian, they're celebrating their win at Vengeance over Edge and the Hulkster, and they're going on about their un-Americanness and whatever.
I forgot about right now they're just called the anti-Americans right now.
Oh yeah, they're not the un-Americans yet.
Yep.
Although let's be quite clear, Dean, they're not going to be invited to Hulk Hogan's Real American Wrestling. Which you told us today that in the chat with me, Mike, and Chico, you did not know about what the hell Fox Nation was.
No,
being Canadian.
I was not aware of such a thing existing.
Yeah, it's basically like a Fox News official streaming service, but it's like, okay, I doubt the old people that watch Fox News can either A, afford it, or B, figure out how to stream it. Yeah, I went there. Because their audience is full of old people. Meanwhile, Stephanie goes backstage with Edge, and Edge gives Stephanie a beta cam tape. Wow, how very TV production of Edge. And this is kind of like when I was doing TV production at this time. So I was like, oh, this is very awesome for the TV geek in me. So Edge and Stephanie, they go with the production truck, and he wants them to play a countdown clock. And it's similar to the countdown clock of Jericho's, but it's like the countdown until he beats Chris Jericho on SmackDown.
Yeah, that was a nice little timing gimmick for the rest of the show.
Although Scott says if the clock is accurate, the show would be running 5 minutes over.
Well, you got to factor in commercials and entrances and all that too. And
oh, yeah, because remember, this is taped. They're not going to admit this on TV, so.
Yeah. Even though we have one smart-ass fan there with a "Today is Tuesday" sign.
Oh, yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck him. Yeah, you thought you were so clever in 2002. Well, guess what? In 2025, we're here to call you out, and I hope 23 years later, you're a freaking loser. You probably haven't gotten a date, so. The last 23 years sure have sucked for you, huh? Okay, we get a promo for SummerSlam with Trish running an ice cream truck. Dane, why couldn't this have happened to me when I was 18 years old in 2002?
Well, yeah, yeah, exactly. Even just the idea of an ice cream truck, in 2002 when I was still living in Edmonton, and there was no ice cream trucks coming down my streets, but let alone Trish Stratus in an ice cream truck.
Wait, you don't have ice cream trucks at all in Canada?
We don't. We used to, but
yeah, because we get Mr. Softy ice cream trucks like every summer here. Oh, so you missed out on all the ice cream bars, I guess, from WWE.
Yeah, we had to be idiot kids and go walk to the local general store to get our ice cream fixes.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh, since our old friend Phil's been back in the company, why hasn't he asked them to bring back the ice cream bars yet?
Yes.
Come on, Phil. Why haven't you done that? You've been back in the company for like almost 2 years.
2 years, or hell, you could have been back a few years earlier if you didn't ghost you or whatever. However, that broke down.
Yeah. Well, you could have had them in AEW if you didn't decide to randomly put Luke's kid in a headlock. But okay, so our next match is going to be Rikishi against Albert. But meanwhile, we got Mark Lloyd backstage with Kurt, who's on his flip phone talking to Eric.
Eric? Uh-oh.
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 Oh, no. Dane, it looks like...
Could Kurt be going over to Raw?
Oh, no. That's a shame. We're not going to have Kurt on free TV. We're going to have to pay for cable in 2002. Yeah.
You're going to have to watch on Spike or here in Canada still on TSN because for whatever reason, that's when Raw went over onto TNN/Spike, there was some kind of exclusivity deal that they had to show it on TSN. So during the time when Raw was on TSN, on TNN/Spike is usually 2-hour run of Cops or Dukes of Hazzard or Star Trek: The Next Generation.
You know what? I'm going to be quite honest. At some points in 2002, I would rather watch Star Trek: The Next Generation reruns.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Oh, my God. Albert's body hair this time. Oh. Meanwhile, Rikishi has a shirt that says "Back that ass up," and I think this was before his epic ballot on WWE Originals.
Yes, put a little ass on it. Ass on it. Like a baby.
Like a baby. You know, Rikishi should get a delayed Grammy for that song. Okay. Rikishi versus Albert. Let's go to Scott. Albert comes in with his big kick and stomps away in the corner. Corner splash, but Rikishi slugs back. Albert wins that. He goes up with a pump slash for 2. Another charge misses, and Rikishi gets a DDT and Samoan drop to set up Cheeks of Fire in the stink face. Super kick and the Banzai drop finish at 244. The point eludes me. Quarter of a star.
I think Albert is one of the, like, I could have seen him definitely like as a 80s, early 90s, like monster heel that would have like a good 6-month program with Hogan, and he was obviously better off like going off to Japan and Giant Bernard there, and even when he came back there with the whole Lord Tensai stuff, that was just
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Rikishi, he left his hat on the stage. So what does he do? He picks up the hat and he's gonna dance for the crowd.
Dance.
Okay, meanwhile we go backstage. Mark is with Stephanie, and Stephanie's like pissed over this news that he was on the phone, Kurt, with Eric.
Yeah.
So she's going to get to the bottom of this. But next, Dane, we got an epic tag team championship match as Christian and Lance Storm are defending the titles against the Hulkster and The Rock. But hold on, Dane. We got a little promo for Ray in this vignette here of old WCW stock footage, as we're going to have Ray coming tonight.
He's coming tonight, and with his original, it's been so long that he's been using like the Booyaka from POD that I forgot that we had. Who's that jumping off the REY Mysterio?
Oh yeah, that was an awesome theme. I missed that.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that when we get to the match that Ray has.
Yeah.
But okay, we got the tag title match. Lance and Christian are coming out with Test. And hold on, let me just share with you in the screen share right here. We got Test is just casually walking out behind Lance and Christian. He just pats the belts like Lance is like, no, don't do that.
Don't touch it. Oh, there we go. That nice little anti-Americans take off, eh?
Get it? Because they're Canadian. They're all Canadian.
We're Canadian.
We get the Hulkster coming out. And, think you mentioned to me, Dane, that you had forgotten that Voodoo Channel was still being used as the theme at the time.
Yeah, I found that weird. Yeah, because I think him and Edge, because he came out to Real American on the July 4th.
Yeah, that episode where him and Edge won the title.
Won the title, yeah. But then he went back to using Voodoo Child after that again. So, because like I said, it wasn't the actual song, but it was a definite amusingly sound-alike that was playing for Hogan when he made his entrance.
Oh yeah, God damn, we can't pay Jimi Hendrix.
I ain't paying Jimi Hendrix anything, but Rob Zombie's only charging this much to keep his song for Edge. Well, okay.
And now we got The Rock coming out. The Rock has freshly won the undisputed WWE Championship from The Undertaker in a triple threat match with Kurt Angle at Vengeance. So, yeah, we got a dream tag team right here against Lance Storm and Christian. So, this is going to be an incredible match here.
Yeah, and then it was. Crowd was hot, and you can even tell even Christian was having fun in that match because he was getting to live out probably one of his childhood dreams of like either fighting with or fighting against Hogan. You can just tell he was having a blast in that match whenever him and Hogan squared up.
So let's get into the Scott review here. Hogan starts with Storm and overpowers him with the lockup of Doom. Storm slugs away and gets a clothesline, but Hogan no-sells and clotheslines him. The faces pinball Storm and Rock comes in with more punching, Lariat and suplex get 2. Storm jaw breaks him, however, and the Canadian forces hammer away in the corner. Rock no-sells it and nails Christian with a clothesline and belly-to-belly. However, Storm distracts Rock long enough for Christian to get a spin kick for 2. They trade off with the perfectly legal tactics, but Rock backdrops Storm and gets a spinebuster on Storm. People's elbow, but Test accidentally pulls down the top rope while attempting to point out some cheating from Hogan to the referee. And Rock hits the floor. You know, I wish Gorilla was still with us at this time, because you know he would have given Test some shit for that. Back in, Storm gets 2. Christian gets 2 after a Canadian chokehold, which is legal. Rock gives him a neck breaker, but Test reaches in to indicate to Rock that his shoelace is untied, and clumsy Rock slips and hurls himself into the announce table on the outside. I think that was a joke by Scott.
Yeah.
Back in, the champs take turns getting near falls on Rock. Slugfest is won by Rock, but Storm blocks Rock bottom and gets the Storm kick for 2. Hogan, poor sportsman, breaks up the count at 2 and robs the Canadians of their rightful victory. Rock goes for the hot tag, but Hogan was busy going after the perfectly innocent Test and isn't there to receive it.
That was actually a funny spot. Like, Test pulls Hogan off the apron. Hogan goes after Test, and Rock reaches out and trying to make the hot tag, and no one's there. And
Rock is all alone. Finally, Rock makes it, and Hogan cleans house with illegal right hands. Big Boot misses, the Canadians get a duple suplex. However, Rock comes in without tagging, and sets a poor example by hitting for a rock bottom on Storm. Christian with the unprettier on Hogan for 2, but Hulk is up. He's obviously on PCP, according to Scott. Big boot and leg drop, but Brock Lesnar runs in for his second DQ of the night at 9:15 and gives Hogan the browser refresh. Oh, I get it, because it's the F5. I hate that finish. Match was okay, even though Rock wouldn't really give them anything. 2.25 stars.
It was a good, fun TV match. Again, the crowd was hot, and you kind of had a feeling that you weren't going to get Hogan and Rock getting the tag belts, but then you also needed kind of an out for Christian and Storm to not necessarily beat the 2 most over guys in the company at the time. Plus, then you also get the build for next week, or they don't quite do it yet, but you got Brock coming out to mess with Hogan and send a message to his challenger at his opponent at SummerSlam. So yeah, now we got what you got on the screen share right now is
Brock's doing the Ty Doe Foamy belt thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I probably would have wanted them to face off right now.
Yeah.
But we got the countdown going. It's a 1 hour, Dane.
1 hour and 2 minutes.
Yeah, we got a nice shot of the steel cage.
The steel cage.
Oh, what are Paul and Brock going to do here? Backstage.
They're walking towards a nice white limo.
Well, aren't you going to open the door?
I'm sorry, this car is for someone else's.
No, it's okay. Stephanie said we can take her car. Everything's okay.
No, this is Hulk Hogan's car tonight.
Hulk Hogan's car.
Hulk Hogan's car.
You got it all wrong. This is the next big things car. And if you don't open this door and drive for me, I'm going to beat your ass. So open the door! Thank you. Now drive!
How come my agent don't get me no limos?
Oh, Taz.
How come I don't get a limo? Oh my. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. Because we're going to have Michael Cole cutting to John Cena for a promo regarding Test. Now, let me just say something here. I think we're a week removed from John's debut.
Yeah.
Because he had that big match with Kurt. Everybody's raving about that match. I remember when that happened. Like when he debuted John Cena, everyone was like so pumped. Oh my God, the prototype from OVW is finally appearing on WWE. And everyone loved the match. It was a fantastic match. But everyone was like, what's he going to do for a follow-up?
Yes.
All right, so let's go to Michael here.
Because coming up, the rookie John Cena will be in action against the anti-American test. And joining us now in the backstage area, John Cena. And John, being an American, what is it like facing Test?
There's no doubt Test is going to be tough. And he talks a lot of trash about America. Maybe he should talk trash about America. I mean, everybody knows Canadians get free health care. But if you look at Test, it's obvious they don't get dental care. Instead of going around saying, America sucks, America sucks, they should be going around saying, please fix my teeth, please fix my teeth. I mean, he reminds me of some crazy Canadian woodchuck. So I guess the obstacle I have to conquer tonight is, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if Test could chuck wood?
Now, hold on. Did John go to Jim Cornette for advice on how to write this promo? And Jim was like pissed at Kevin Dunn that day or something?
It could be.
That was such a bad promo.
Although at least John was right that no, we don't have at that time we don't have free dental care yet, but now here in 2025 we actually now have a dental plan now for people that don't necessarily have a private setup for dental care. But as well, as someone whose last name kind of rhymes with woodchuck, it's I've always heard that. I always have people asking me that question too about how much wood I can chuck too. So,
hold on a second. Test is going to confront John Cena backstage. Okay, so let's hear what Test has to say back to John.
You're a pretty funny guy, Cena. You know, maybe what to say is true. Maybe you are the kid with ruthless aggression.
Oh my God.
But to me, you're just another little punk.
Wow, slapped him so hard, Zachary Quinto would have been proud of that slap.
Yeah.
Call back to episode 350 if it was a thing on TV. All right, so let's go backstage again as Stephanie finds Chris Jericho, and you can tell this is 2002 because he has a Discman with him.
He's a Discman, and he's in 2002. He's already showing his freaking shit band as well.
Oh yeah, he was showing all that his Fozzy albums like all the way back to 2002.
Yeah, he's wearing his Fozzy shirt, and then my new album, Fozzy album, just dropped here. Steph, have a free copy.
Stephanie's like, okay, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I guess Jericho's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat Edge later tonight or whatever. Oh, we go in the mirror and there's Rey Mysterio. Oh, we're so close. We're about to have his debut.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming up next. And then, we get a shot of beautiful downtown Indianapolis in the Conseco Fieldhouse. And now we get our next match. It's Chavo Guerrero taking on Rey Mysterio.
Yes, and got Chavo coming out to Eddie's heel theme, LWO heel theme from WCW, which I think also later on when Chavo Senior shows up and starts wrestling his Chavo Classic, he uses that because I think afterwards Chavo starts using the "Ooh Chavo," dun 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 dun.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I forgot if Chavo used that theme. But everything about the Chavo Classic era was so awesome.
Yep.
Oh, God rest your soul, Chavo Classic. But then we get the intro for Rey, and the whole trap door and him jumping out, like, holy shit! Like, that was such an incredible entrance. I love that they retcon the whole Rey, like,
Oh yes, I was gonna ask about because he lost his mask in WCW to I think was it the hair
was
versus Nash.
It was his
Then he
mask
went-
versus Nash's hair, I remember.
Yeah.
That was a real Sophie's choice. We would have lost either Ray's mask or Kevin's glorious hair.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, thankfully that WWE's like, we're not going to recognize that whole remove his mask shit.
Remove his mask and hanging out with the filthy animals and wearing the silly fake devil horns.
Yeah, we're going to treat that like the dream in Dallas with Bobby Ewing in the shower. That never happened.
That whole season was wiped out.
Yeah. Wish we could say the same for most things about WCW 2000, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. That's another topic for another time.
So let's go to the Scott review of the match. Apparently, Junior is no longer allowed in the WWE. Ray is kind of Triple H-ish. And what's with the atom bomb contacts? Did he travel back to 1999 and get inducted by the Ministry of Darkness or something? They do a match sequence to start, and Ray gets a roll-up for 2. An inverted Rana, and Chavo misses a charge and gets rolled up again for 2. Chavo gives him a release German, however, to turn the tide. He drops him on the top and works him over in the corner. Abdominal stretch, but Ray reverses for 2. They fight it out on top, and Chavo blocks a body press with a drop kick for 2. Chavo slides him out of the ring like a bartender sending a beer down to a cowboy. And back in with the exploding gutbuster for 2. Ray comes back for a drop kick that puts Chavo on the outside. It follows with corkscrew plancha. Back in, Ray goes up, but Chavo follows him up there. Chavo hits the mat, and Ray falls with a bombs away. Chavo goes back to the ribs, but the brainbusters reverse into a rolling bridge for 2. Gory Special 2000 gets 2 for Chavo. Chavo charges and hits boot, but gets dropped onto the middle rope, and Ray does his fake out and kicks him in the face. Rana roll-up gets the pin at 5:53. Good but unspectacular debut for Mysterio. I'm liking Chavo lately, though, 2.5 stars.
It was, I'm sure they had much better matches in WCW when they were both younger and Ray's knees weren't quite as knackered. But it was a decent-ish TV match. But we'll see later on that bigger things are probably up ahead for Ray going forward, I think.
Oh no, Dane. Ray ran into Tess backstage and Tess beat up Ray. Oh no.
Tess is just one grumpy guy today.
Oh yeah, he's beating up John Cena. He's slapping him. Now he's beating up Ray. So now we're gonna get Tess and John Cena. But let's see what is being advertised and what SmackDown has brought to us tonight, Dane, according to Michael and Taz.
Okay, who's sponsoring this crap tonight?
Maximum hair color for guys. Easy to do, hard to resist. Play I Wanna Go on WWE.com to win a dinner with a view. How about Austin Powers in Gold Member in theaters tomorrow? Brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the box.
Okay, 2 things. First, Maxim was sponsoring a hair color. You think that's where Jeremy Borash got those frosted tips on the first TNA episode of pay-per-view?
More than likely. And well, let's put it this way. Let's think that I think now that this Maxim hair thing is then to what's almost what the Prime Energy is to us today.
And then Austin Powers and Gold Members in theaters tomorrow at the time this is airing.
Yeah.
And then, Taco Bell. Yeah, of course.
Good old Taco Bell.
Yeah, because Dane, it's the only place that's open after main event on Ion Television.
Yes, it is.
Real ones know that Taco Bell's the only place that's open after main event on Ion Television.
Yep. Real ones only remember main event was on Ion Television.
Is main event even still a thing in 2025?
Apparently it is because that's actually where both because there was a talk about that's before he made his appearance at Night of Champions. That's where Tala Tonga apparently made his official main roster debut finally.
On main event?
Yes, but I think he was still going under Hikuleo, but that was his long-awaited debut. And then apparently also this week, Kiana James is finally also making her long-awaited return after all her issues.
All right. Well, here comes John Cena, and he's wearing blue tights.
Blue tights and white tights for the, guess for the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it is probably for the Colts.
I think they're doing kind of like him being like the hometown guy minus the mask.
Okay. Well, I guess that's fitting since he would later do the whole thing with like his shirts and the team colors later on. So I guess it's consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. It's John Cena and Test. Let's go to Scott. Cena is in Smurf blue tonight. Now you see, this is where Scott does not realize anything outside the NHL. That's come on, Scott. You got to recognize that they're in Indianapolis, okay?
Yeah.
Test attacks to start in the corner and tosses it. Back in, Cena gets a drop kick and slugs away. Test comes back with a corner clothesline. However, to end that rally, he slugs him down but misses an elbow. Cena with the DDT and Test misses a charge. Cena gets a forearm and a pair of clotheslines to set up the Stinger splash. Backdrop suplex gets 2. Test pump handles him for 2. Test argues he gets rolled up for 2. He comes back with a powerbomb, but it's reversed for the pin at 320. Test gets his heat back by laying out Cena afterwards. They need to break that booking habit. Match was nothing special. Your typical little guy upsets big guy thing. Half a star. I guess they need to give Cena a win after last week against Kurt.
Yeah. Well, apparently he won some at Vengeance, so I'm not because Michael Cole was talking that he's gone now a bit of a winning streak now. So
okay, who did he beat at Vengeance? Because let me just see that. That was actually like something that was on the ballot on Russell Tracks this month, but it just barely lost. So I could have been covering that match this week, but no. Let me see who John. Oh, he beat Jericho at Vengeance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine that. And 25 years later, Jericho will be fat and not wanting to put anyone else over unless it benefits him somehow.
Let's get back here. The steel cage is being lowered. And now the timer... Steel cage. And now the timer has been, according to Scott, realigned with the actual time left of the show. All right, that's good.
Yeah, fixed it in post-production.
Yeah. Okay, meanwhile, we have like Stephanie backstage with Stacy. So, okay, how about we go to Stephanie and Stacy backstage?
Yes.
It's his voicemail again. Hey, Kurt, it's Stephanie again. You know, I'm getting a little frustrated because you haven't returned any of my calls and you certainly haven't shown back up here at the arena. And you know, Kurt, at least Brock Lesnar had the common courtesy to tell Eric Bischoff he was leaving to his face. Kurt, after everything we've been through, I expect you to extend me the same courtesy. So here's what I propose. Regardless of your decision, whether I agree with it or not, I expect you to come back to this arena tonight and tell me your decision to my face. Damn it.
I appreciate that Stephanie had the class to turn off the flip phone, shut it down, and then say, damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kurt, you got to have the balls to go to Stephanie's face and say you're going to jump to Raw. That is just, that's slacking. Come on.
Yeah, come on. Come on, Kurt. Don't you remember the time that Stephanie got knocked out and you carried her back and you kind of forced a kiss on her, but she kind of fought off for a bit and then started liking it? And
Oh, yeah, because remember, she said after everything we've been through, they're teasing that. Oh, my God.
long-term storytelling.
Yeah. This is like how in season 5 of Knots Landing when Gary was banging Kathy. When he was still married to Abby. Yes, it's that long-term storytelling. Okay, now let's go into the steel cage match.
Steel cage.
And so we have Edge coming out to the Rob Zombie theme. I actually love this theme. Wasn't this theme used in the Rollerball remake?
I believe so, which is why that's why they kept it for so long, since they were able to wrangle in cameo appearances by Shane McMahon and Paul Heyman. So,
SummerSlam, Dane, is brought to you by Foot Locker.
Foot Locker?
Yeah, because when I think of SummerSlam, you know what I think of? Sneakers.
Sneakers.
Yep.
Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, if you're out playing some 3-on-3 or baseball or whatever, you gotta have your sneakers, right?
Do you have Foot Locker in Canada?
I think we do. We also have our own brand as well, too, Sport Check, which they deal a lot with a lot of athletic sneakers and shoes, and also another sporting apparel as well, too.
Oh, okay. So we got Jericho coming out, and it's the steel cage match. We're going to go to commercial, and now we're back because obviously this is on streaming now since we don't have to fucking worry about commercials.
Yes. Unlike as well, too, because that's one thing I like about the Netflix up here is during the supposed commercial breaks, we at least get kind of like almost like the picture-in-picture viewing stuff. Like we get actual continuation of the match on some stuff.
Okay. Now I have a question here. We have a referee in the ring. So is this over the top rope plus the pin rules, or?
I think it's pinfall, submission, or escape through the door top.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering. Because why would the referee be in the ring unless to count the pin if it's just escape the cage?
Yeah. No, it's anything. Yeah, like I said, it's
pin, submission, or escape the cage.
Yep. Which is good to clarify now before Jesse Ventura pitches a fit about it.
What, Edge walks through the door? That's insane, Michael. He walked through the door. That's a cowardly way to win a match, Michael.
Can you believe this, Taz?
Okay, so we get a replay of what happened during the break. So, Edge did like a baseball slide when he was trying Jericho to grab a chair from the ref. So, okay. We got this big steel cage match. So let's go to Scott.
See what Scott has to say.
Note to Michael Cole. Edge injuring his shoulder in a previous cage match is coincidental, not ironic. Damn, Scott. Yeah, he mentions we picked things up from the commercial with Jericho getting the baseball slide from Edge. He comes back and pounds away in the corner, but Edge clotheslines him and chops away. Jericho makes a climb, but gets caught by Edge. They fight over that for a bit until Edge brings him back the hard way. Jericho gets tied up in the ropes, and Edge spears him out of there, but charges again and eats cage 3 times. Edge blades, and Jericho works the cut in the corner and does a little cheese grater action with the cage. Arrogant cover gets 2. Jericho starts with Canadian violence and lets Edge know that he's the king of the world. No, that's Leonardo DiCaprio. Come on. Yeah. Just in case he wasn't aware, flashback gets 2. Now Jericho ties Edge into the ropes and pounds away on the cut, but charges and hits the steel. It's very cold and unforgiving, don't you know? Edge makes the comeback with a forearm and half Nelson Bulldog for 2. Dropkick misses, however, and Jericho tries the lion salt, but hits knee. Edge gets 2, then he tries climbing, but Jericho stops him and tries a superplex, which is countered with a face jam by Edge. That gets 2. Edge's DDT is reversed to the walls, and when Edge tries to block Jericho, counterpults him into the cage instead and crawls for the door. Edge stops him. Jericho manages to snag a chair, however, and lays out Edge for 2. Edge spears him for 2. Edge climbs, but Jericho goes low to stop him and bulldogs him off the top. Jericho climbs again and makes it over the top of the cage, but Edge gets the hair to block and brings him back in with an electric chair off the top. Both guys crawl towards the cage, but Edge climbs out before Jericho crawls out and wins at 13:02. Kind of boring, actually, with a lot of laying around and ridiculously slow crawling for the cage. 3 stars.
It was a surprising main event because were they starting to establish Edge as a main event player at this time?
Edge was like Intercontinental Champion, I remember, in 01.
Yeah.
They were like trying to push him as like a big single star for a while, so.
Mm-hmm. And of course, they kept reminding us that Jericho was the first undisputed unified champion. He unified the WCW and WWE titles.
That's bullshit. The first unified champion was Jerry Lawler at Super Clash 3. Everyone knows this. Listen, Dane, never forget fucking Stanley Blackburn and Marty Miller. They robbed us of the Leaning Tower of Pizza. Fucking bullshit. Fucking Stanley Blackburn. Fucking get the fuck out. You're favoring all the heels. Oh, meanwhile, Stephanie's watching the match backstage with Billy Kidman. Is this a foreshadowing, Dane, of Billy Kidman later becoming an agent?
I would say so.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't we go backstage to Stephanie and Billy right now? Because I think she's going to get an update on what's going on with Kurt. So
yes, but I think before that we had the anti-Americans again rushing the cage.
Oh yeah, they were going to beat down Edge, but
beat down Edge with Jericho. But then who comes to help out? John Cena.
Yes, and Rey Mysterio climbing the top of the cage.
Climbing the top and doing a flying body press from the top of the cage yet.
Oh my, that was so sick from Rey right there.
Yeah.
And then Test is going for a power bomb, but then and then double drop kick by Rey and John onto Test.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then hard back bar drop onto Christian and
oh my god, Lance takes oh my god.
He took quite the bump into the cage there.
Yeah, it looked hard. I mean, when you first see it, you think, oh, did Lance take like a sick one? But then you can clearly see like Lance did a great acting job right here.
Yeah. Great guy, great technician, shitty chair shot guy.
Oh yeah, well. Hey, we love Lance. Meanwhile, Jericho is escaping the cage.
Trying to escape the cage. Yeah.
Oh, now you're escaping the cage, Chris.
Yeah. So, the faces get the heels all to scamper off, and that's actually quite the build for like a potential face trio of Edge and Rey Mysterio and John Cena.
We do get the Edge Mysterio tag team later on in the year.
Yeah.
But Cena is 02 kind of...
We have to wait till Halloween, the Halloween episode when he dresses as Vanilla Ice that he kind of gets... I thought at this time, because I remember there was some talk among the dirt sheets that he was actually on the bubble to get cut between the Halloween episode and then actually Steph apparently hearing him do some of his freestyle raps as well too and decided to work that in somehow.
Yeah, so really if you think about it, if it wasn't for Steph walking in on John Cena rapping, we wouldn't have Peacemaker Season 2 coming up on HBO Max.
No, we wouldn't. When we wouldn't know that, I'll save that for the other podcast or another time with the story about him and Amy Schumer.
Oh, yeah, because if you know, you know. So
yeah, if you know, you know.
Well, at least we know that him and Dolph, yeah. Well, that's all we're gonna say about that.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's finally get
Hey.
to Steph backstage with Billy
Steph,
Kidman.
yeah, talking to Billy.
Dive thing, you know?
That was awesome.
Steph, you're not gonna believe this. What? Eric Bischoff is in the parking lot. He's
Here? Wait a minute. Eric Bischoff is here. Well, I guess he does have a set of testicles.
Now, does he mean by testicles by the actual balls or the future fan base of Test?
You know, maybe Stacy heard the playback and she thought,
Testicles. And there's a guy named Test. I wonder if that can work out somehow. And then we cut to a black limousine outside in the parking garage area.
Bischoff! Bischoff, get the hell out of my parking lot! Come on, Bischoff! Get the hell out of there!
Hi, Steph. Good to see you, Steph. Did you get my flowers? Did you read my card? I told you, SmackDown's loss would be Raw's gain. I told you I'd knock you out. Did we knock her out? We knocked you. It was a jab. It was a right cross. It was an uppercut. And she's down for the count. Let's get the hell out of here. See you Monday at Raw. A jab.
So Eric is driving away in the limo, and meanwhile, just casually walking into frame behind Stephanie.
Kurt Angle's there like,
Huh?
what was that all about?
And Stephanie's like, Kurt, you're still here. And Kurt explains, oh, yeah, because after my match, I was so pissed, like I turned off my cell phone and everything because I didn't want to be disturbed.
Yeah. But you were talking to Eric. Yeah, my brother Eric.
Oh, yeah, we
I forgot about Eric Angle. Because we also forgot about, because Eric Angle tried to help him do the twin magic at Survivor Series 2000 with Undertaker, yeah.
All right, yeah, so, okay, he was talking to Eric, his brother, the whole time. Okay, that makes sense. But wait a minute, Dave. If that wasn't Kurt, who was it?
Who did Eric just steal from us?
Dun, dun, dun. Copyright 2002 WWE Entertainment Inc. All rights reserved. You know what? I got to say, pretty entertaining episode of SmackDown.
I think we're still at least another year away from like the SmackDown 6 era stuff. And
no, I think the SmackDown 6 is like a few months away because I think that's when they have the tag title tournament. Yeah, because there's that big three-way tag match at the Super Tuesday special, I remember.
Okay.
Which we might have to do a review of at some point, the Super Tuesday special. Because I don't even think that's anywhere other than Daily Motion or whatever, because that was like a UPN network special.
Yeah.
Well, what do we have to say about this episode?
Going with the opening video package at the intro, I mean, it's still like the most 2002 thing that's ever 2002'd. But just in between, it was back when they were trying to make the brand extension / roster split thing competition seem legitimate. This was a definite good way of doing it. You have all the mind games between Eric Bischoff and Stephanie starting to begin here, and you've got, like I said, at the end there, you had 2 out of 3 potential top new baby faces standing tall there with Rey and Edge. Got John Cena kind of getting a bit of a rub, but like I said, better things would come down the road for him other than doing this. And the tag title match was definitely a fun thing too, and helped also doing a great job of putting over Brock Lesnar as a legitimate threat. And we're a few weeks away from the beginning of the pure sports build between Brock and Rock for SummerSlam.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. That was a fun build to the match at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yep. So I would say I'd have to give it like, out of 5 steel cages, I'd give it like 3.5 steel cages, steel cages, steel cages.
I'll give it 3.5. But I digress. Taz heads out of 5.
Okay. Well, that's going to do it for the July 25th, 2002 episode of SmackDown. Now, Dane, in our next episode, we're going to begin our first arc on the Squared Circle Time Machine.
Oh, an arc.
Yeah, first real-time arc.
This should be interesting.
Yeah. So, it's the summer of 1994. Hulk Hogan is coming to WCW, and he's just won the WCW title from Ric Flair. So now we're going to have the epic rematch between Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair for the WCW title at Clash of the Champions 28.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to say this, Dane. I guarantee you nothing is going to stop this big epic rematch between these two titans of the ring.
Nothing, you say?
No, nothing. I guarantee you nothing's going to stop.
Come hell or high water or avalanches or
masked men. No, we're not going to have that.
No.
Nobody's going to play. I guarantee you, no one's going to be playing the role of Jeff Gillooly in our next episode. If there is, I don't know what I'm going to do. So,
does that mean we're also going to get to hear? Because I don't know if I want to hear Hogan doing Nancy Kerrigan stuff with the knee. Oh, my knee, brother.
Oh, my knee, brother. Oh, my knee.
Why me, brother?
Why me, brother? Oh, Jimmy. Oh, my plea. Oh, we got to get the strapation on my knee, brother.
Oh.
But you'll find that out next time on the Squared Circle Time Machine when we cover Clash of the Champions 28. So until our next episode, I'm Greg, that was Dane, and we'll see you right here on our next episode of the Squared Circle Time Machine. Have a good rest of your day, everybody.
If I'm wrong, you tell me I'm wrong. But I know you wanted me. I know you cared. If it wasn't CG you wanted...
It was you. Don't you understand anything? At first it was CG. You looked like her, but you're not her. CG's dead. And if you weren't so damn stupid, you'd know it's been you all along. Stupid!